Good morning, boys and girls. So, the school library is closed, the public library is closed, so that leaves me with the books that I have right here at home. So, our reading selection for today was chosen by my oldest son, Kyle. Some of you may know him. And he said this was a picture book he remembered liking when he was younger. So, we're going to give it a go. Picture book today is Pete the Cat's Got Class. Remembering those days when we used to go to school, right? Carrying his lunchbox. You don't even need a lunchbox anymore. Eat your lunch right in your kitchen or in your living room or wherever it is that you have lunch, in the backyard. It's math time, says Pete's teacher, Mr. G. Pete the cat loves math. He loves how the numbers work together. How many of you are loving math right now, doing it at home with the help of Mrs. Powell's videos? If I add 3 red blocks and 4 yellow blocks together, how many blocks will we have in all, says Mr. G. Pete raises his hand. 7 blocks, says Pete. 3 plus 4 equals 7. Very good, Pete, says Mr. G. Mr. G asks the class a subtraction question. If I take 2 blocks away from the 7 blocks, how many blocks will be left? Pete raises his hand, but the teacher calls on Tom. 9, says Tom. Pete feels bad for Tom. Tom is super smart. He can name all the dinosaurs. He just has trouble with math. Pete has an idea. He'll help Tom become awesome at math. Because helping is cool. Are any of you helping like little brothers or sisters while you're home? Maybe helping your parents, right? Figure out what your assignments are. On the bus home from school, Pete sits next to Tom. Do you want to come over to play? Tom asks. I got some cool new race cars for my birthday. Awesome, says Pete. We can do our math homework. And then we can play with race cars. I hate math, says Tom. You don't hate math, Pete tells Tom. You just don't love it yet. Keeping that positive attitude. Pete sets up some blocks. If I have 5 blue blocks and 3 orange blocks together, how many blocks will I have in all? This is boring, says Tom. Can't we play with my race cars? This gives Pete a great idea. Sure we can, he says. Pete lines up some race cars. If 5 red cars are going to the racetrack and 5 yellow cars are going to the car wash, how many cars are on the road, he asks. Easy, says Tom. 10 cars, like a traffic jam. Now what if 2 of the cars stayed home, Pete says. How many cars will we have left? Says Tom, studying the lineup. 8 cars. Right, says Pete. See, I told you that math is awesome. Pete quizzes Tom on one math problem after the next. 4 cars minus 1. 3, says Tom. 8 cars plus 7, says Pete. 15, says Tom. I can't believe it. I'm doing math, and I'm loving it. Pete and Tom do their homework. Let me know if you need my help, says Pete. Thanks, says Tom, but I know what I'm doing. The next day, Pete hands in his homework. Tom does too. After lunch, the teacher passes back their assignment. Pete and Tom each got 1 wrong. I'd like to see you 2 after class, Mr. G says. You both know not to copy someone else's homework, says Mr. G. We didn't copy, says Pete. You both got the exact same answer wrong, Mr. G tells them. How can we prove that we got the answers on our own, asks Tom. I know, Pete tells him. Bring your race cars to school tomorrow. Why? Tom asks. You'll see, says Pete with a smile. The next day, Pete and Tom get to school early. What are all these race cars for, asks Mr. G. To show you how Tom got to be so good at math, says Pete. Give Tom a math problem, Pete says. Any math problem. I'll get it right, says Tom, without Pete's help. Mr. G gives Tom one math problem after the other, and Tom uses the race cars to get all the answers right. Wow, says Mr. G, I'm impressed. Pete helped me by making math fun, Tom says. I think that's something we can all learn from Pete, Mr. G says. Take it from Pete. Math is neat. So I hope you ladies and gents enjoyed this read aloud for today. Pete the Cat's Got Class. Make sure you vote. and I'll see you tomorrow.